Well, I'm heading back into the shop. Just got back from family vacation. Had the chance to head down south, do a little bit of R&R with the family. But it feels good to be back in Ohio. Heading back into the shop, catch up with the lawn dog, see how things went last week, and start putting the blades to the grasses once again. You ask, we answer. It's time for some viewer mail. Kyle writes, "Hello guys, I had a question regarding fuel for you guys. I was wondering what type of gas do you guys use on the grasshoppers? I've heard many people say the type of gas you put in the machine doesn't really matter, but I wanted to hear your opinion too. Best regards, Kyle." It's a great question, Kyle. Really appreciate you writing in on that. When it comes to fuel in our grasshoppers, since we run all diesel engines, we choose to run diesel fuel. Chose to make that decision many years ago when grasshoppers started offering the diesel engine in their mowers, and it's paid off for us in many ways. The way I can best explain how you can benefit from choosing a diesel mower over, say, a gasoline or a propane-powered mower, it's really simple. Grasshopper has this really cool feature on their website at grasshopper.com. It's their fuel expense and emissions calculator. And it's so cool. You have the ability to go in, you can plug in your cost per gallon of fuel, whether you're using diesel, gasoline, or propane, how many machines you're running per day, and how many hours per year you put on those machines. So what I did to hopefully answer Kyle's question, and answer any other lawn dog's question that may be wondering, is it beneficial to switch to diesel, or should I switch to propane because that's the newest thing, or should I just stick to running gasoline? This is the best way I can answer the question for you guys. I plugged in our current fuel costs in our area here in Central Ohio today. We're about the middle of the month, middle of September. And I plugged in 6 grasshoppers, because we run 6 every day, and we average between 500 and 600 hours every year. I plugged in 600 hours because this year has been a really good year for us, and most likely we're probably going to hit that 600 mark. So I went for the high end. And what I found is just so impressive. It is so amazing. It shows me that even though I'm paying more per gallon of diesel in comparison to propane or gasoline, when you put it all to bed at the end of the year and you look at your cost of your fuel, the numbers are just amazing. My fuel consumption per hour is probably the first number I want to talk to you guys about. I'm running a diesel engine grasshopper. I'm going to consume 0.9 gallons of fuel in an hour compared to 1.8 with a gasoline engine and 1.95 for a propane engine. Then you go your cost per hour of mowing based on your full costs. I'm going to spend about $3.55 every hour on fuel that I mow with a diesel engine compared to $4.73 for propane and $5.88 for gasoline. So my per hour cost is lower and my consumption per hour is lower with a diesel. But here's the coolest number. At the end of the year, when I'm all done mowing and I'm putting my grasshoppers to bed, I'll have spent under $13,000 on fuel for my 6 diesel engine grasshoppers, compared to over $17,000 for propane and over $21,000 for gasoline. So the savings is humongous to switch to a diesel engine. So many people are talking about, propane's the way to go, it's more green. Here, got another little interesting thing for you. Another little feature on their fuel calculator is the emissions calculator. And again, you plug in your numbers, your fuel cost, how many machines you're running, how many hours annually you're putting on, and you're going to get some surprising numbers. If you run a diesel engine like we do versus a gasoline, you're going to emit 42% less carbon dioxide, 7% less hydrocarbons and nitrous oxides, and 99.5% less carbon monoxide when you're running a diesel engine compared to a gasoline engine. Now, you talk about being green, like I said just a few minutes ago. These propane converted machines, they think it's more green, they think they're saving more money. I just proved to you guys you're not saving any more money by running propane, but I'm going to show you too, you're actually not saving the environment anymore by going to propane either. Diesel versus propane. I'm going to emit 20% less carbon dioxide, I'm going to emit 39% less hydrocarbons and nitrous oxides, and I'm going to emit 99.7% less carbon monoxide when I'm running my diesel mowers compared to someone equipped with a propane mower. Now, I know everybody has their own opinion on what's best. Continue to do what works best for you. This is what works best for us. We love grasshopper mowers and we love the diesel engines on them. They save us money, they're more efficient, and they're much better on the environment. So Kyle, hopefully that'll answer your question. If you're running gasoline engines or if you're running propane engines, I would highly recommend switching to diesel. It's worth it. You'll find out in the long run your fuel costs are going to go down and your emissions are going to be a lot lower than what they would be. But I appreciate you writing in, Kyle. I hope I was able to answer your question. If there are any other lawn dogs that have any questions for us, please feel free to email us at stewcare@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. We'd love to answer your questions, and maybe your question will be featured on the next segment of Viewer Mail. Keep putting those blades to grasses. So the other day I was on my grasshopper, and as Senior would say, he does some of his best thinking on the grasshopper. I am following in his footsteps in that regard. It seems as you're mowing away during the day, you really get some good peace and quiet to yourself, and you get to let your brain work, and you get to think about some things, and started thinking about the direction of the business and what I want to do in the future and which direction we want to go. And I came up with an idea. I think it's something we're going to look into. Work on it in the off season, to where when we start the lawn season next year, we can come out brand new and fresh. So I'm on my way right now to look at what I believe is going to be the future of the business and the next big thing here at Stewcare.